Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my
Hello.
channel. Fun. Oh, James is here. And let's see. He said, hi, Kasie and Beth. Danny was second. She said, it took her 2 years to use Google Slides, and I used them for out school classes, not VIPKid. I'm really here because I love her purple hair.
It's not even purple anymore.
It's all
It's
blue. Love
blue.
it. Rachel's third. Danny, first is the worst, second is the best. We know where that leaves you, Rachel. Wow. Danny, you are on fire today. She said thumbs up. Oh, thanks, Danny. And I know, can I just tell them that you do your hair yourself and I am super jealous?
Yeah. It didn't start out that way. But then, March hit and I had already had colored hair and it was looking real bad, really, really bad. So I had to quickly figure out how to do it myself. So now I cut my own hair, I dye my own hair, and I don't think I'll ever go back to the salon.
Oh man,
I
I
like
want to do the purple and blue that you had.
Yeah.
I've had pink before, but
I think pink might be my next.
Yeah.
But I've got a whole box of stuff, so I think I'm gonna put, because right now it's like an aqua, and I think I'm gonna go in and put navy at the roots because I haven't been one single color in a while. So
yeah.
I know, super subtle with just the one bright aqua. And it's funny because you can't really even see on camera. So my kids, the first day I had it, you could see them going like this and then kind of getting closer to the camera.
They're wondering.
Like, All right, I'm going to try to find it so I can follow the comments.
So you can either go in through Messenger and click on our link, or you just want to make sure it's turned all the way down so that we don't double hear ourselves.
Yeah.
And there is a delay. So you'll see what happens on our screen here. And then if you look down, you'll see it over there.
That's not going to be confusing at all.
I've gotten used to it. But speaking of that, so guys, we have 6 in the chat. Thank you all so much for coming. And if the chat starts getting busy, if you don't mind putting all caps questions for Beth or questions for me, that way there I can find them faster, because we all know how I squirrel and can't find them. So, well, Beth, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Beth. I have been a VIPKid teacher since November of 2017. So almost 3 years now. I was a public school teacher for 9 years. 8 of those were in kindergarten. And yay, kinder. I love my kinder babies, but the job was just kind of slowly killing me. Honestly, I ended up in the hospital a couple times, and it was all stress related. So when I found VIPKid, it started as just we need to pay off debt kind of thing. But within I think by the end of my first contract, I was starting to talk to my husband about, I kind of want to make this my full-time deal. So I started in November of 2017, and in March of the next year, I gave my admin a heads up that I was going to be gone. Wow. So it only took me about a contract to decide to do it, and I haven't looked back. And I can't imagine doing anything but working from home now.
Right. I think people think, oh, kindergarten, that's easy. But you're right. There's a lot more to it. I think I say it on, I probably shouldn't say it, but I've mentioned this many times. The hardest part are the parents.
They can be.
I mean, parents, but
I was really, for the most part, blessed with really awesome families, and some that I still talk to. Yeah. My problem and issue is they called me Mama Bear because I fight for my kiddos. Yeah. And when you're fighting a system for your kiddos, it's harder. So I don't believe in testing kindergartners, sitting them in front of a computer for 2 hours for a week to test. I don't believe that a number on a piece of paper tells you how smart that kid is or what they've learned or anything. Right. And so the stress of trying to balance doing my job the way I know it needs to be done. Yeah. But then also checking all those boxes that people who don't know about children are putting on it. So it was all of those things. And I've always said it was never the kids, not even a little bit the kids. Even if my room had been full of the worst behavior problems, the neediest kids, never about the kids.
Yeah.
It was all the extra.
I still have contact with so many of my parents. I love hanging out with them. I was very fortunate with my parents too, because living overseas, we all became family. You know what I mean? Like they're all friends and family. So, but yeah, it's not the kids.
Never. That's why I love this job, because I still get to interact with kids. Those are my people.
Yeah.
Those are my people. Adults, children, those are my peeps.
Yeah, my friends would love to chat. I mean, we could have a whole interview about how we feel about testing and stuff on kindergarten. Like, I could invite some of my friends that are just jump right on with us about. Yeah, it used to be play-based and sharing, and
we wonder why kids, when they start getting into 2nd and 3rd grade, have behavior issues, and it's because we weren't able to teach them the social skills at the beginning, because we're so focused on check, 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 instead of teaching how to be around people.
Yeah.
That's what kindergarten is supposed to be.
I try to tell them it's not even just teaching reading, you're teaching them to like infer, even like in kindergarten. Like there's so much to it, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's a bit much. Sorry.
I told you we could have a whole conversation. Okay, so what was your why? You said to make extra money. Did you think it was a scam?
No, I wasn't sure about it being a scam, but I didn't think it was as legit as it is. Yeah. Like I really didn't think at first. I was like, oh, okay, that sounds cool, but I'm not going to get booked. I'm, maybe a couple, but no, it was the first week. Within my first week of teaching, I taught Sai. And he left me my first 5 apple feedback. And ever since then, it was just like, oh, okay. Yeah. This is legit. Like it's a real job. It's hard work, but it's fun work. Yeah. And I make real money. Yeah. So.
That's great. So did you get your 6th contract hoodie, or is that this year?
No, I ordered it. So it just came a couple days ago.
Hey, congratulations. I'm team hoodie. I tell you what, I just signed my 3rd contract. Haven't started it yet, but as soon as I make it there.
It was a little, well, I have a few of them, because I have one from a friend who didn't want hers anymore. Yeah. And then I got one on the Beijing trip. But they're all too small. So like I have really long arms and they all come to here. So when it was time to order it, I was like, nah, might as well. I can actually wear it.
Let's talk about China, because I know there's lots of people that would love to hear about your trip. How did you earn your trip? What was it like?
Okay, so I went back in January. I won for the winter trip this past January. And I won for the community contributor spot. So basically what that was people nominated me and I won. And so I found out the same way everybody else did when they put that video out on the education, the main group. And I saw my name scroll across and I flipped out because I was still teaching. So I had my next class was with probably the kid I've taught the most, Gabriel. And I was crying and I was like, Gabriel, I'm coming to China. And he was like, okay. But no, it was amazing. I went in 2005 when I was 18 and volunteered at an English camp there in a small rural town in the Gansu province. But we spent a couple days in Beijing. So this was my 2nd time going, and it was even better. It was amazing. Of course, seeing all the sites was really cool. But for me, like the 2 top things were spending time with other VIPKid teachers. Oh yeah. Because like there was 7 of us that went together and it was immediate. We just clicked. And we were like, oh, hey, y'all are my best friends. I've known you forever. Yeah. And we could talk about things that our families don't understand, and our friends from our other jobs don't understand. And just getting to have that like time of community with them and with the people from VIPKid, it was really, really special. And we still chat on WeChat, and we have our same group going that we had on the trip.
Oh.
And I got to meet some of my kids, which was
Oh.
the best. So I met 4 of my kids, and 3 of them that I met, Sarah, Sai, and Andy, I've taught since the very beginning. So we're going on 3 years together. So actually getting to hug them, have them sit in my lap, go out to dinner with their families, go tour Beijing with their families. It was, I mean, something you kind of dream about and always think that would be so cool.
Right.
You don't really think it will happen, but it was amazing. It was amazing. Best trip of my life.
Yeah. That's great. I was going to ask you a question about that trip too, and I forgot. We'll get back to it.
It's okay.
So what does your VIPKid schedule look like?
It varies sometimes depending on what my goals at the time are. Right now I'm trying to work towards that when I sign my contract in November, that change that's going to happen. So my goal is 200 classes a month.
Oh, that's
so
great.
Basically, however I can fit that in. So for a while I was teaching from 3 to 8. Now I'm doing 4 to 8, and then doing like Friday nights or Saturday mornings. So I try to get 45 to 50 classes a week if I can. But if I'm feeling I leave my weekends completely unplanned. So if I am feeling too tired or run down, I don't open them. So I do those short notice only. So it gives me a little bit of flexibility.
Are your short notice booking right now?
They weren't for a while.
Yeah.
But my weekday short notice have picked back up. So I have about like 3 or 4 spots a day that I book short notice. So in the last week or so, those have started to come back.
Yeah,
but those are. Yeah, even my short notice spots that I have some regular, I call them irregular regulars, and they're usually the ones that grab those short notice spots. So I maybe teach 1 or 2 new kids a week. It's usually kids I've seen before.
I think my starlights are like pushing out my regulars because they're booking for 4 at a time. So now I pretty much have starlights all day, every day. Like 3 to 4 every day of starlights.
I haven't taught an actual starlight lesson. I've taught a starlight trial twice. But
I teach a couple a week for trials. Yeah, starlight. Once you're in, I think you're in. I think there's an LP that finds people and sticks with them.
Yeah.
I love it. Candy asked if you met any of your students. Yeah, she met 4. And she said she voted for you. You have the best slides. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Janie, just jumping on. Thank you for Google Slides. I use them daily and I can relate strongly to your B&M story. Yeah. James said he just started using Google Slides for extensions. Yeah, tell us about how do you use them? I'd like to know.
Yeah, so I use them for anywhere you would use a regular prop. So anytime that you would bring something in, I use a Google Slide. So I think it's hard to answer that question really clearly because it depends on the student. So I may use every single slide in a slide deck for one student and then only a couple for the next, because it just depends on where they need extension, where they need some reinforcement. It's all about matching the kiddo. And I think that's why I like using Google Slides so much, is because it's just this whole extra set of tools that you can use to meet your kid where they are. So I always tell people, I may have 25 slides in a prop slide deck, but chances are I'm not using all of them. Because if the kid has the concept, they've got it with TPR, they've got it with just talking, then there's no need to use it. It's there if they need it.
Yeah.
So I started out just using the props because when the group started, that's all we had. But I also I use the Google Size rewards for every single lesson.
Oh yeah.
Class.
I love the props for I love using it for props for like all the vocabulary, just a different way for them to see it. And I love when they're moving because it's, run, you can see a picture of running, but when they're running on the little Google slide, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I should tell you, I know most of my friends in the chat know if I'm looking over here, Beth, that's the live chat. So
okay.
I'm reading my iPad as you're talking. So.
Okay. I've got mine like down here.
I have been known to put the props on one. This is my old phone that I've had for years.
Yeah.
Just Wi-Fi on it. So I put my props on one and I put my reward on another. But I don't use them for rewards.
I did that for the longest time because I know I'm not necessarily the most comfortable with new tech. Yeah. So it took me a while to be convinced to try ManyCam. And I did because I had a PC, but then I'm on a Mac now, so I switched to CamTwist. And I love it now that, I took that step and just did it. I was like, oh, this is so much better than...
I just bought a computer so I could add stuff because my poor little laptop can't handle anything else.
Yeah.
But I haven't set it up yet, so.
My laptop that I had was struggling to run everything, but my Mac is a workhorse.
Little beast.
It's like, I got it.
Yeah. Just so you know, if you are setting up ManyCam, I think Morgan Brown has a code, but she, on her YouTube channel, she has like step-by-step on getting started with it and everything. So check out, Morgan SWM is her YouTube. I need to link that below too. So.
And she is one of our Google Sites editors too. We love her.
She's awesome. Love Morgan. She's one of the first people I met. It was Evelyn and Morgan, like in a group. Yeah. So I was like this newbie VIP kid teacher that they took under their wing. They're so sweet.
She's amazing. We love her.
How many followers do you have?
On what?
I'm guessing she means on VIPKid, like the little flag.
Oh, followers. Let me pull that up. I actually, I have quite a few. 578.
Oh, good. Yeah. Your YouTube channel, you have like 700 subscribers. And I haven't seen a video in there in a while.
Yeah, because I don't really just make YouTube videos. I just do if a tutorial needs to be done for the group. So my focus is usually on creating rewards or props. I kind of, when new editors come onto the team, I kind of bring them through the process because we have a whole process we do because we want us to be as uniform and as consistent as possible. So my focus is really on the quality of the content that we're making available to people. So that's where if you see some of my YouTube videos, you usually won't even see my face because I'm just narrating as I'm walking through the steps in the process. But so I wouldn't call myself a YouTuber.
Your thumbnails are super cute too.
Ah, thank you.
So I try to do my research a little bit before people come on here. If you do want to check out her YouTube channel, it is linked below. And she's got a link on there for Colorstreet, and we'll talk about that in just a minute too. Let's see. How do you feel about the latest survey asking about communicating with parents? Do you think it's good or bad to communicate with parents?
I think it all depends on how you frame it and who you open it up to. I am friends with the parents that I met in Beijing. So I didn't get a WeChat until I was planning that trip. So we could coordinate who I was going to meet and all that kind of stuff. But this is probably, it's against what VIPKid tells us. But with all of the changes and how the booking system works, I have one kid who I teach every week. I love her. I don't want to miss her, but she has not been able to get on my interested students list. So she can't request a class. So I book her class that way with her mom. So I haven't done the survey yet. I'm nervous about losing that contact just with Andy and Zhao Zhao's family and Sai Sai's family because, I like sharing pictures with them and they're my friends. I don't want to miss talking to them, but I'm sure if it happens, I'll figure something out.
A bunch of us were talking about it in, in our own group. Whoa, where'd you go?
Whoa, what is going on?
Your autofocus keeps.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. It's not. Doesn't normally do that. See what I said? Tech and me sometimes aren't that great.
But a bunch of us were talking about it, and one had a good idea. Like, there's a spot that you can write other, and she talked about like maybe not, like it be an invitation, so we can accept it or not from certain families.
Yeah, because just like when I was a brick and mortar teacher, I didn't want the parents to always have my personal contact information. I never did.
Right. And living on base, I'd see them everywhere. But it's so funny. The kids are like, oh, you shop here too? We have one store. Like,
well, and it's funny because that's why my name on Facebook is Beth Pender. That's my maiden name. So, because I did that because I wanted to keep kind of hidden from those brick and mortar parents, just because I needed that separation.
Yeah. I was wondering because it's different on your YouTube.
Yeah.
That's not something you just ask somebody either. Hey.
It's gotten confusing before, like with the Beijing trip, they were like, so what do we call you? Like, sorry.
Candy said, I just had a level 7 email the link to his latest EP. What's EP? LP?
EP? Like an album, like a single.
Oh, it's an EP.
Yeah.
Am I just old? Is that the problem here?
No, I don't think so. I think
hilarious.
That's what it is. All right, I'm trying to look at the chat.
James said, I gave my email to a student the other day because he didn't upload his writing project. Oh, I was so scared to teach a writing lesson the other day because I'm just not the best writer. But anyway, I practiced. I was ready. Like, I was on it. No show. I sat there for 58 minutes. Like,
See, I'm a get every cert you can kind of person, but I looked at that one and I was just like, no, pass.
I didn't
because
get the advanced grammar or the voice of VIPKid.
Oh, give me all the voice classes. I haven't taught one of those in so long. I love them. Oh, I can't either.
Nobody
wants but I sure try.
Let's see. Favorite way? What's your favorite way to use Google Slides?
I think just to make that connection with a kid, either helping them with something that they're struggling with, or finding something that they like and immediately pulling it up, finding a common interest. I think just making connections with kids, anything that you can do to make that just a little bit easier, I think is a huge benefit.
I think that's why in the last couple of weeks I started using the rewards, because like I have a bunch of these Find a Stars that people have seen a million times on my channel. But now I need more because I have students that have had over 100 classes with me now, which is awesome. But I mean, I only have 100 Find a Stars.
Yeah. And I only repeat a reward with a kid if they specifically ask for it.
Yeah.
Because I'd say 95% of the time I'm doing a lesson specific reward. So I'm doing something that in my planner, when I run my classes, I save my favorites and they're related. So if I'm teaching in level 1, unit 8, Italy, I'm teaching the food lesson. Then I have a pizza game.
I was gonna say, you must have pizza.
Yeah. So I love that I can have that ready, but if I see a kid wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt, I can say, oh, do you like Mickey too? And then while I'm saying that, look it up. Be like, I love Mickey. And it just creates that, they think it's magic.
Yes, that's cute. Danny said, that is good. Where you focus things grow. She just creates presentations and she hasn't been trained on it. She just started playing around with it.
Yeah.
And looks like she was already a subscriber to your channel, but yeah, you haven't been on there in a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. Some of that booking stuff is so silly. Like level 7 can't priority book. Yeah, that's so hard because they need such a big slot. Yeah. I have a level 7 book me on Sunday night, my time, and then cancel after the frenzy. I can't figure that out. I wonder if it's like the automated one, James. It might just happen during the frenzy time. I don't know. How do kids respond to your blue hair? It's so cute and anime.
The kids that say something like it.
Yeah.
I mean, my teacher profile picture is my purple hair. So they know going into it, so they're not like surprised. But when I went, I recently took 10 days off. I took a vacation and I had switched my hair during that vacation. So that was when the kids were like, and my little Bella, teacher, blue. Yes.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, I mean, I always say like your tribe will find you, your kids will find you.
Mhm.
So I make it clear in my profile picture that this is what I look like. This is who I am. So if you don't like it, don't book me.
I was told moving here, oh, you'll have to see, I can't even tell what side it's on because in Zoom it's on a different side. But I was told that I would have to get rid of this and, my tattoos can't show. And I was like, really? I've never had that before because in Germany on base, it's all fine.
Yeah.
Lots of people have piercings and things like that. So
I will say, I think I went a little bit crazy because it was never a spoken rule that you couldn't do it as a teacher, like in my brick and mortar, but I was small, rural town, Oklahoma. Like some questions would be asked probably. So I never felt free to do what I wanted. So now I'm like, I'm my own boss. I work at home. I'm doing whatever I want. And it's been so freeing.
I can understand that. When I got out of the military, my husband got out of the military. That's the first thing everybody does. Like, I went and got crazy colors on my nails, and my husband grew out some fuzzy beard and stuff. And it's like they tell you can't do it. It's like little kids, As soon as you do it, you're like, I'm gonna get away with it now. So, what is a challenge that you've had to overcome as an online teacher?
The schedule. Honestly, I'm a night owl. I get my best work done from like 9 to midnight.
Okay.
And that doesn't quite work when you're waking up at 2 and 3 a.m. So that's been a struggle trying to get my sleep situation figured out. I had to really learn balance and how just because I can open those slots doesn't mean I should. Because it's real hard when it feels like I'm just handing money away.
Yeah.
When I don't work every single day of the week. I'm like, but I could, but I had to just learn, you know what? I'm going to run myself into the ground if I don't take time to sleep. So I finally, after almost 3 years, have a system that works. So I stay up late because that's when I do my best work. My husband doesn't get home until almost 7. So if I went to bed when I should, I'd never see him.
Yeah.
So I do stay up late. So I take a nap at night. So I get maybe 2 to 3 hours at night. And then when I'm done teaching and I'm all prepped for the next day, I go get my actual sleep.
Oh no. We're doing this in the middle of your sleep time.
No, I'm fine. I usually go down for my nap at like 10-ish and then I sleep. And it works for me because I don't have kids. I just have furry kids. So I'm able to do that. I don't know how you mamas.
Well, I have kids, but one's married, out of college, and one is in college. One is actually driving here right now to come see me.
Yay, so that's exciting.
He just messaged me in the middle of this live. So. Let's see. So are most of your props digital then? Or do you still like to use 3D props and things?
I call myself a hybrid teacher. So I have my Google Slides for every single class, but I love 3D props. So I don't have so many like printed pictures, like 2D stuff, but I have my 400 or something Beanie Babies from when I was a kid. So I use those. If I can get real food, I like using 3D props because I think it helps kids for like specific things for the nouns. I still prefer if it's a verb using TPR and then using my Google slide because there's like you said, even a word like climb.
Yeah.
That that doesn't really, I mean, that you can tie that, but they don't automatically know that, you're going up a ladder climb. But if I show an animated GIF, then that kind of makes a little more sense. But no, I have my cart that I pull my 3D props every day for each class.
I love 3D props too.
Me too.
Danny said, same, Beth. Yay, freedom of the hair. Agreed. Schedule is a toughie. Yeah. That was probably the hardest part for me too. Well, saying no is hard for me. So every time I would get like a priority booking at 2:30 in the morning, it would like hurt my heart to say no. So I would say yes. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to be up. I might as well open another one, right?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
See, here's my tip for priority bookings. And this is what I've done for a while. And it's not working so great now, but I only accept a priority booking if they leave me apples. So,
I've heard that a lot.
And I don't say it to them, but they get it. Because and I don't deny it, I just let it expire. And then, a couple classes back now, I've got some 5 apples. So it's like this unspoken thing, like, no, Eric's mom, you're not getting a class. Give me some apples. And so that's how it helps me ignore those and deny them, because I'm like, okay, that spot could get booked either short notice and make me more money, or it could get booked by a kid who will leave me apples, which will help me because I'm working towards that final raise.
Right.
Next contract. So
agreed. That's a good idea.
I have to kind of turn the heart off a little bit sometimes.
I can't. You would think at over 40 I'd be able to do it yet. And
it was harder for me in the beginning, but now
Danny and I just had this conversation about like standing up for ourselves. I can stand up for friends, for kids, but then when it comes to myself, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. You have to learn how. I've had to learn how.
Oh, Jenny. She said she has a mom that has a full sleeve. First time she's seen that in China. Huh.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if I can say that. In Japan, we had to cover them up because only certain groups in Japan had them. And it was a negative kind of thing. So if you went to like the bathhouses and stuff, you had to cover up your tattoos. And you get a towel like this big, and I'm like
the people I was with in Beijing had to like pull me away from the tattoo parlor because I was like ready to go get one in China. So
let's do it.
I mean, Eric has all over his arms.
Yep. I messaged him. I was hoping he'd come on here sometime. I'm still trying to talk to him.
He is a busy dude.
He is.
Busy dude.
Let's see. Could we use dice for markers today? I have a lot of those. What did I miss? Can we use dice? Rebecca, are you here? Oh. Danny's talking to Rebecca about her out-school class. Got it. I'm there. That is a great idea about the priority bookings. Rebecca said, I used to ignore people without a 5 apples as well, especially when I'm transitioning to more short notice. Yes, Candy, that's exactly what I was thinking in Japan. I lived there for 7 years, and that's the reason. I just didn't say it on here because I didn't know if I should. Let's see. Beth, how do you handle tough or distracted kiddos?
It just depends on what type of tough or distracted, because, a 3 or 4-year-old being distracted is different than a 12 or 13-year-old being distracted.
Kid on there.
Yes. I will take a screaming, rolling around on the bed 4-year-old any day. But I think I can't. We joke in my group chat with the Google Slides admin that I can't really school my teacher face. Like it just comes out.
Yeah.
And I think with the babies, you have to give them grace, and you have to include whatever they're distracted by into what you're doing. So make yourself more exciting than whatever they're doing. But once the kid is old enough to know better and I have a relationship with them,
you got a little serious, Beth.
teacher comes out. And I think, I've taught Andy for 3 years now, and I think they're fine with it because I'll just tell him, Andy, no, put it down.
Today I said, what are you doing? And he's like, and it was a new kid to me.
I call him out like that. If I can tell, like I had this one girl I taught earlier in the week, and it was just teacher to teacher feedback. I think she's watching something on her phone. She's distracted. She's rude, blah, 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 blah. So the second I saw her go like this and saw the flash in her glasses, I pulled my Google Slides down and I said, no, I know you are looking at your phone. That is not okay. We are in class. Put it down. And she goes, like, obviously no one had ever, and she's old enough to know. She's a level 6. She's old enough to know. And I don't think she'd ever been called out for it. Just real direct. I know what you're doing. Shouldn't be doing it. So stop. And she did. And they've short notice booked me 3 more times this week. So, I mean, you have to read, and it can be a risk being direct with them. It can be a risk, but it's a risk I'm willing to take at this point. Because I'm like, if you're going to apple bomb me because I don't allow your kid to be disrespectful, then apple bomb me. But that's with older kids, you know. That's with older kids, you know. My babies, I mean, they're babies, and I'm making myself sound really serious and like hardcore teacher, but I'm really like goofy and silly and fun. And I have a 12-year-old boy named Kimmy, and we do usually at least half the class in whale voices like this. Like we have fun, but I can't break that teacher in me that's like, no, there's a line, you do not cross it.
Right. I agree. The hardest for me is actually spinning. So when they're moving or in a car, that's so much harder for me than them being distracted. I mean, you can tell I'm distracted anyway. So. That's why I teach kindergarten. By the time they're ready to move, I am too.
Yeah.
So what levels do you teach?
I teach 1 through 7 and almost all supplementals. I don't have writing. I don't want writing. I like the subject and the content, but my experience with my level 7 kids and all the projects is that kids don't always upload. And how do you do a whole class about revising their writing? Right. I don't know. I just didn't. My schedule is full. I don't want my babies pushed out. I love my level 1.
The cool thing about, I hear you. The cool thing about the writing is if it says if they have their project, skip to this slide. If they don't have their project, start here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So there's actually like, if they didn't do it, they have like a sample for you to use.
So that's cool. That makes it a little bit better.
There's no project here. What am I going to do? Are you trying to follow along in the question?
Yes. And I'm like,
somebody should have warned you that I am super busy and can't follow my own. Let's see. Do you have a favorite teaching moment or a funny story?
I'll do not really a specific moment, but I shared this in Beijing. They asked us that question basically, and I said my favorite thing out of all of this is I give Sai as an example. When I first started classes with him, my first week of teaching, I saw Mom walk by and she's pregnant. And then a few months later, I hear baby in the background crying. And now brother comes to class and says, hi, teacher. So just building that connection with the family and seeing them progress and grow up. Even when I was a brick and mortar teacher, I had those kids for 9 months. And I'd see them here and there, but like I'm in their home with them. And the same thing with Andy. Zhao Zhao was an infant when he and I started classes, and now she's my student in level 1. So just developing those relationships with the families. I love it. And then Bella does this thing with me, and it's one of my favorite things ever. She goes, big love you. And she started that. So now we do medium love you, small love you. And then below kisses and goodbye. So just those little sweet moments, they're my favorite because that's what I loved as a teacher is building those relationships, having that connection. And I seriously did not think that was possible when I started this job. that these kids are across the world talking through a computer. There's no way.
It seemed very impersonal, didn't it?
Yeah, but man,
it's not.
Those are my babies.
Yeah. Sweet relationships. That's what's got me going back for some classes. Candy said, I wish we taught phonics and blending diagraphs to our kids at a young age. Yeah. I've been living and teaching in Vietnam for over 12 years. They do the same as the Chinese. School, 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 learn, learn, learn. We Americans let our children be children. Sometimes. I mean, yeah. In kindergarten's changing in the States too. Well, it has changed. I mean, in the 8 years I was teaching, it was, I mean, when I first started teaching, even or as an aide years ago, it was more play-based, like I said before. And you could do like a letter a day or a letter, every few days or something. Not anymore. Let's see. You told us you're not so tech savvy, and we've already talked about YouTube. So I think we're doing pretty good. What is Colorstreet?
Okay, Colorstreet is nail polish, but it comes in strip form. So instead of like painting your nails, you just peel them and you stick them on. The thing that's different about that than some others is they're not stickers. They're actually like layers of nail polish that have been almost completely cured. So the only part that is sticky is the base coat, the bottom coat. So you just peel them and stick them on. And so like they come in.
I have a big pack that I got from my friend like months ago, and I still haven't opened it.
Girl!
I've never not had nails. I've always had them done.
5 minutes last night. Right before bed, I did them in 5 minutes, went to sleep.
So do you just trim them and stuff?
So what you do, if you go to my Facebook group where I like have all of my customers and everything, yes, Painted Paws. I have like little videos that you can see, but basically there's a clear coating, like a clear plastic film. You take that off, and then you pull the tab, you stick it on your nail, and then you just tuck it under and perforate it, take it off, flip it around, use the other side on your other nail, and you're done. It's all it is.
All right.
So open it up and put them on. I was a lifelong nail biter. I bit my nails.
Oh, really?
Forever. And when I decided to stop, I used gels to I did my own gel manicures to help me stop biting them. But then that destroyed my nails. Yeah. They were super weak. And now I have to actually trim my nails now. And I never had to do that. So
actually, up until COVID, I have had my nails done for years and years since my kids were babies. So I would just go get them done all the time. But I tell you what, I'm saving some money.
Well, like this is US Navy, so it's a solid. So a pack of that is $11. There's 16 strips in a pack, and I only used 4. So I can get 3 or 4 manis out of a pack. So you take the $11 for one, and then Moon River is 12, so 23. Divide that by 3. Yeah, that's way less than you would spend going to a salon. So
do you have to put something over it?
You don't have to. I do because I am still building up my nail strength. So I use Nail Tech Strengthener under that I put on that, and then I usually do my nails before bed, let them cure overnight. And then the next morning I throw on a top coat of OPI plumping top coat, and they're good for at least, mine have lasted up to 2 weeks. I usually change them once a week because I get bored.
I need some color in my life.
I changed my hair and my nails as much. It's how I can get through being stuck in the house.
Yeah, I hear ya. Let's see, Karen. I hope VIPKid enhances their platform so we can communicate more directly with parents. The partnership a teacher and family makes enriches the learning for students. That's to Candy. Yeah, I could see that being a positive too. On OutSchool, we can talk to our parents and things like on their platform though, so you don't give your personal email and stuff out. So depending on how they do it, I could see it as a benefit. Beth, do you feel the China education system is better than America's in some ways? I had a level 2 who was 3 years old who could read, sum, and blend.
That's a loaded question.
I was just thinking that. Candy's a high school teacher, I believe.
Yeah. I come to it as an early childhood educator, and I know that kids learn language best when they're super young because they're like a sponge. So in that aspect, getting your kids in like language classes and exposure to language, I think the way they approach that is better. I would like to, when I have kids, I would like to expose them to other languages early on, because I wish I had. And I have tried to learn, and it's so hard for me because once you get to a certain age, your ability to acquire new language is just very limited. So I think in that aspect, it's great. Yeah.
We wish they could say a little bit more.
Yeah. It breaks my heart a little bit when my 14-year-old student is bawling because he just has so much. Oh, are you okay? No, it breaks my heart when I see these kids that aren't allowed to be kids. And it's not just China. I think it's more pronounced and you can see it more clearly. But I think the same can be said for a lot of American kids, not necessarily just academics, but they're in this sport and this sport and this activity and this activity and go here and go there and do that. And I don't know. I think that I ran a little bit wild as a kid, and I think that's good. Like, give them some freedom to discover what they like. Yeah, I think having too much regimen, I mean, structure is good.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's good and bad in each system. We are definitely not the best, like not perfect. Yeah. They are definitely not perfect. I think we could take some from them. They could take some from us.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I think it's very different for all kids too. I mean, some kids, if you don't keep them busy, they get themselves in a whole lot of trouble. But other kids don't need all the busy. They need some decompressed time.
Yeah, I did for sure as a kid. I needed time to myself. So and I see that with my VIPKid kids. You know, Daisy thrives in school. She's always wanting to do more and showing her test results. And then I've got others that are just, it's too much. Yeah. It's too much. They just need a break. Bless their hearts.
One of mine is like, I'm excited. I only had one class and a little homework today. And I'm like, oh, I know. She's in physics too. So
it's like, just go outside, play, climb a tree.
I know. Did you go outside?
Climb a tree. Dig in the dirt.
No, like, I had homework to do. I'm like, oh. I know. But they do. I have 2 students that they have TV on Saturdays. I don't know if that is like a thing there, but my little girl, Honey, she's like, today's Saturday. I get TV.
Oh, bless her heart.
She corrects me. Oh, she's so happy. She's such a good student. Candy said, since COVID, I just use the press-on glue nails. Yeah. I would love to be, Sorry, I'm reading half things. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything, but having parent contact with the platform might be nice if it is monitored by VIPKid. That way, abusive, manipulative messages can be less. Beth is correct. Education to Asians are like sports to Americans. Yeah, I was an ESL teacher in Japan for 6 years. And
competition is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack just started snoring.
Oh, how cute. I didn't even hear him. Okay, so I think, was there anything else you wanted to tell us about Colorstreet or VIPKid before I move on to the questions that came in?
No, just if you haven't tried Google Slides yet, I know it can seem overwhelming and it can seem a little bit scary. But I am coming to you to say I am not a tech guru. I learn it by just doing it. So if I can figure out how to run Cam Twist, then I can figure out how to show Google Slides and make Google Slides. Anybody can.
Yeah.
It really can. It just is a matter of taking that first step, starting small, starting simple, and just seeing how it goes.
I think if I remember correctly, the hardest part for me was understanding that I needed slide kick and where to find it.
Yeah. So we have two different ways of accessing files. Slidekick is our app. But it's a web-based app, so it can be on any device.
Right.
I mostly use it on
App Store.
No, and it is free. It is completely free.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, if you go into the Google Slides group, once you're accepted into the group and answer those 3 questions, you go up to the announcements part, and there's something called the slide guide. And the slide guide is basically any little bit of information you will ever need to know about Google Slides, about how to do it, information on us as a team. So go up there and click SlideKick, and it will show you how to use it, how to get it on your device, how to search for different things. So you can either do that, which is how I usually recommend people start out. I am a hardcore planner user. The planner is life.
I've never used it.
Oh my gosh, it's the best because I basically copy my schedule, I paste it onto the input page, I hit start, bam, props and rewards for every lesson, feedback for every lesson, my personal lesson notes that I've made for every lesson. So I run that the day before, and then in class I just hit click, click, open, show it in class on my CamTwist. So if you have
2
time,
monitors?
No, I have one, but it's very big.
Yeah, I have a TV right now that I'm using as it's a smart TV that's plugged
I think I have the 27 inch, so it's large. It's large.
Yeah. It's huge. I'm not used to it yet.
James asked, is there a video tutorial? There are video tutorials on everything.
Welcome.
In the slide guide, I have video tutorials on creating props and rewards because that's kind of my wheelhouse. I also have some class clips showing how I use them, like for extension and to reinforce skills. But there are videos for how to use it with Manicam, how to use it with CamTwist, how to use it with OBS, how to get your planner set up, how to do SlideKick. We do, we've got it covered.
It's been almost a year since I started with Google Slides. And I erased SlideKick off my phone on accident. And I was going to the App Store trying to find it again. I had to go back to the slide guide and introduce myself to how to find it again. But yeah.
And there are occasionally updates and changes because it's if we figure out, okay, users like this feature, let's add this in, let's take that out, which I say we talk about it, but then Megan does it because I told her I'm not touching any of that stuff because I will break it. I will break it.
And Megan is the creator, right?
Yeah,
she learned that yesterday.
Yeah, so Megan started the group. She basically started with she was using digital flashcards in class on her iPad, and then she got a group of people together that wanted to do that too, and so they were kind of building up together before there was a Facebook group, and then the Facebook group started in February of 2018, and I kind of jumped right in, and I've been there ever since.
I rely on them so much. This morning I had because I have a lot of starlights.
Yeah.
I had a class that wasn't in there, and I'm like, oh,
what do we do?
Good morning, and I'm like, I need a pizza, a television. He ran. I have to show you guys this. My husband ran and got me this because there's pizza on it. I grabbed my old little.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm like, I'm so used to using Google Slides that I was like, and the kid actually had a globe in his background. There's my Earth.
There you go. Get that.
It was so funny.
You do not have to use Manicam or CamTwist or anything like that to show it. Like I said earlier, for the first while, I used my phone or my iPad. And that's how I say the majority of our users, that's how they use it.
See the little star? That's SlideKick right there. And that's how I get in. You just click on that. And actually, all you have to do, guys, once you have SlideKick, is to click on it. I click on lessons and then type in what lesson I'm going to teach. And that's it.
And you can search like something that has been coming up is like the new leveled reading or new grammar classes. You can actually search by the lesson title instead of the SN because like the old grammar classes, the lessons are the same. The SN is different and how they like packaged it for the lesson, but the content is the same. So if you type in, I'm thinking of leveled reading, what's for breakfast, you'll see the old one, but it will match the new one. So you can search for lesson SN or you can search for lesson title.
Oh, great. And rewards, like I think of Minecraft all the time because of all my 13-year-old boys. I still have them have rewards. I ask them if they want them. But Minecraft, I just type in Minecraft. Usually I type in Minecraft FAS for find a star.
Yeah. So I have mine. I just go through the Cake browser because we found that's the one that works best on. It's a browser like Chrome but it's called Cake. And it allows you to it works really well to put your sides in full screen mode without having to mess with like going to preview or going to whatever. So I just type in the address for the app, which I'm not going to say now because you need to read the slide guide to get it.
Good idea.
But let's see if I'm still. So that's what it looks like when you first open. And then if you're looking for props, you will go to, whoops, I hit the Cake button, not to the slide Cake button. There we go. Come on.
So while she's doing that, go ahead.
So down here, you've got the reward guide. So these are going to be all of the different reward categories and how, like the directions for them, how we use them. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. So at the bottom,
vocab or
at the bottom you'll see like home, you'll see rewards and then lessons. So if I go to lessons right here, and I'm just going to type in on the farm, and that will show me, see, you can see all the level 3 unit 8, or you can type in the lesson SN. So I'll do IMC level 1.
I've never had an IMC yet.
Oh, I love them.
Really? Oh,
I love them.
You cannot search for Slide Kick in the App Store. It doesn't work.
No, you'll have to go to the Facebook group and to the slide guide to learn how to get it. But I just type in the lesson SN, and then I can click the lesson that I want, go to props, and I've got props right here made by 3 different people. So I can choose the one that I want. So I'll just open up mine, hit open link, and this will open it. If you're using Cake, it will open in Cake. That's what I want. My internet has been crazy. So then now it's in full screen, and there's my prop right there.
Cute. So I'm going to admit to, I think it was Melissa that helped me figure out that presentation mode, present on this device. I wasn't doing it. And I'm like, guys, how come my words are always smushed on one slide? Like I can never use this slide. Guys, it has been like 8 months before I learned that.
Yeah. Well, if you use Cake and hit open link, it will automatically open it in presentation mode. So you should be good.
Never even heard of Cake.
And then this is my favorite part is when I would talk about lesson specific rewards. So if sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus there.
You're good.
Props are right there. Rewards are here. So these are rewards that have been suggested as a good fit for that lesson. So there's an ice cream one, there's a claw machine one, and then Daniela, she is one of our mods. Anybody who submits feedback for a lesson, she kind of screens those and then puts those in. So here in for each lesson SN, there's feedback. We've got short and sweet, just right, and all the details. So
that's great.
You've got everything all in one. So I use it when I'm searching really quick for something, or if I have to travel, and I can't take my huge old Mac with me, so I'll take my old laptop, which then means I don't have Cam Twist. So then I do everything on my phone.
I started using that when I was using the rebooking function. You know what I mean? So that classes could be rebooked quick. And I'm like, well, how am I going to get props ready? And then I was like, oh, done.
It's super fast.
So, yeah.
Now, the planner is a little more detailed because it's basically a Google Sheet that has a whole bunch of formulas and scripts tied to it. So it's a little bit easier to mess it up if you're not careful. So that's what, sorry, I've got the hiccups now. We have a quiz for you to take after you read through kind of how to do things so that you understand how to fix your mistakes or how to avoid them in the first place. Because we have, might have to check the number, but over 40,000
I saw that.
people in the group. So it's really helpful if people learn how to use it, at least the basics, so that we're not kind of having to do all of that every day, because we've got a big team and a big group of people. So if you want to try out the planner, you take the quiz, you get a practice planner, which isn't actually tied to the files. So if you do the right thing, if you like follow the steps correctly, you'll get a GIF of someone saying awesome or fantastic. And then once you do, it's just a matter of copy your schedule from the VIPKid app or the web portal, and then you paste it into that Google sheet on a certain spot where we've marked, and then hit start, and it pulls up props, rewards, feedback, everything for that lesson. Great. So we try to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah. Let's see. You copy and paste VIP schedule on their app, right? Yes. Do you have to use ManyCam or those other apps she just mentioned? You don't need ManyCam. I think you already answered that question too.
You can do it on your phone, iPad, any device you want to use.
What is Beth's Facebook group? Facebook group for Colorstreet is down below. James, that's probably not what you're looking for. Maybe.
But
his wife.
Just search the VIPKid Google Slides group.
Okay.
And we're there. We're in the community directory also. So if you go to the teacher portal, you can find us there as well.
I wasn't sure whether you wanted that linked here or not.
The Facebook group absolutely can be linked. So I can come back later and put it in the comments.
Okay. You need to be, actually just send it to me and I'll put it in the description box, or you can put it in the comments too. It won't go in the live chat though, but let's see. It's better in the comments than the live chat anyway. Then other people can find it. I had my first Starlight today and it was about the magic hat lesson. It was so much fun. Oh, good. I had a space one today. That was cool. It was making me laugh. Instead of drinking lemonade, she drinks lemon soap and she has bubbles coming out of her mouth, the alien. It's so cute. Let's see. I have IMC all the time. Oh, that's right. James, he had a parent leave him 5 apples and some good praise, and he has been like level 1 a lot lately.
I love him. I teach Zhao Zhao in the new level 1 3 times a week and Grace twice a week. And she started at a later entry point. So I've got I'm teaching the very beginning of level 1 and then like the mid to end section at the same time. But I love them.
Well, I used to have baby day where I had level 1s all day long, and all of them moved up to level 2. So now I only have one level 1 a week.
I am all over the place. I will go from a level 1 to a level 5 to a 2 to a 7. Yeah. It's like, some mornings.
Best?
Yes, because you don't get bored.
Yeah.
If I only taught one level, I think I would get so bored.
And baby day, I would be exhausted. And my office looked like a huge, I have pictures of it. I'm like, every week, it was like every Tuesday or every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, bye, Rachel. Thanks for coming.
Someone asked what Cake is. Cake is just a web browser like Chrome or Safari. So if you want to use Cake, I love it. You go to just your app store. So I'm not sure if it's on Android, but so go to the Apple App Store or whatever, and just search for Cake. And you just download it and it works just like the regular browser. But for some reason, it works with our presentations to be able to put them in full screen.
Wow. I'd never heard of it. That's awesome. Let's see. Rebecca, she said, you guys have put so much work and effort into this to make it easy for teachers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe you can let your team know.
Yes, I will.
Candy wants to know, has a level 1 parent ever left bad feedback? There's a rumor that level 1 parents are quicker to leave bad feedback.
I think you have to take every rumor with a grain of salt and know that there's, there's 100,000 of us now, and so many students. I've never had bad feedback from a level 1 parent. My most, yeah, knock on wood. My sweetest feedback is usually from level 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're friends with me on Facebook, I posted earlier this week some feedback from one of my babies. And yeah.
I think you said this is why I get up at 3 a.m. or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was, because in my experience, you're going to be their first experience with an American teacher, someone who doesn't look like them, this language. So you really have an opportunity to make a special bond with those kids. And I love my level 1 babies. I absolutely love them. The only, not even negative, I got a 4 apple like 2 months after the class for like a level 4 kid. So I think it depends on the parents. It depends on the kid. It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I think a whole lot of this job can't be put down to like a formula.
Yeah. I could see level 1 parents giving more feedbacks in general, just because they're there more than other age groups. Yeah. I've had 2 1 apples, Beth, and that was not to me, it was to VIPKid.
Yeah.
So they were invalidated, but I was like heartbroken. It was from the same student, but then I found out the parent gave 1 apples to every single teacher that she's had and left it all negative about VIPKid. So it had nothing to do with any of us teachers. It still shows that I have 2.
I hate that, because the one that came through, that 4 apple, it never affected my score, right? Because it was so late, but it's still there. I still see it.
I know.
I'm like, I hate it. And that was in my second contract. So it's been 2 years since that sucker popped up.
That's me too. I'm going to be looking at it forever.
So frustrating.
Beth, what technology background do you use that helps you create Google Slides?
I think it's less of a tech background and more going back to brick and mortar. My district did not purchase any kind of curriculum for kindergarten. Wow. So we either had to buy it ourselves or make it. So I had to get very creative with creating things. So I think that's where I've always made curriculum for my brick and mortar kiddos. And I can think that it kind of just translated. A lot of it, I didn't come into it knowing all the ins and outs of Google Slides. I learned as I was going. And it's just practice. When you do something every day, it becomes second nature.
I was very, very spoiled in my schooling experience. We had everything we needed and wanted. I mean, we had a paper shortage once when I was in Japan. But working with the military community, a lot of them had money, they could buy us paper, but they didn't have a lot of the time, you know what I mean, to give us. So they would buy paper, and that's, So I was very fortunate in that way. So all of these questions came from our collaboration group. So that question, I think, was from Amanda Panda, who is very techie. Yeah. And if you know Amanda Panda, you should go check out her Etsy site. I can't even tell you how many props and fun things I have. She gave me this with one of her things, and it cracks me up every time.
I have that on a Google slide. And I have a slide I pop up.
If you're an online teacher, you probably know why we all think this is funny and needed. What slides are your favorite?
It depends on the lesson. Like I said, I use about probably 90-95% lesson specific rewards. So things that are tied to the lesson. But one of my all-time favorites that I use all the time is my Dancing Animals Find a Star. It was one of the first ones I ever made. I've updated it a little bit, and it's just fun to get those animals? Because we dance with them. It's fun. I love it. I use it if I can swing it for an animals lesson or a movement lesson. It's one that's really fun. Right now I'm using the Build a Fast Food Meal by Jennifer Park a lot. They get to choose KFC, McDonald's, and one other. Pizza Hut.
Oh, fun.
So, and then they pick each part of their meal and build the tray of food. That's really fun. I like using that for trials.
I think I never got into them because, remember, I wasn't doing it on present on this device mode or presentation mode.
Oh, and Builder Rewards are all about the animations and the links. Yeah.
So now that I know how to do it, I'm going to have to go check them out because I think that would be a lot.
Anything by Josie Rudd, I'm a huge fan of. She does a lot of the Builder. Her rewards are so intricate and so many different things.
Oh, fun.
I've done a couple of them like hers, and they take me forever to make. So I'm a big fan of hers. I love Heather Barron does a lot of Plinko, or she has a couple Plinko games. I love those. And she also does a lot of Would You Rather Find a Stars, which I like because she ties them to specific units. So like one that I'm thinking of is would you in the where people live, I think it's level 4.
Neighborhood?
Or no, the people's homes, animals homes, that unit that's kind of splits. And one of them is would you rather have a glass floor or glass walls? And it has GIFs showing both options. So I mean it's really fun because it's conversation, but it still gives them a visual. So I really like those. I don't
know. What would you rather?
My answer is always, I will have a glass floor and I will only wear pants.
Right?
Because one of my girls was like, and it's cool because in the GIF, there's fish, like it's like a fish tank in the floor.
Yeah, I think I would choose the floor too.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see all that.
No.
Let's see. What text setup do you have? Sorry, I use Siri. What tech setup do you have?
I have a Mac, so I use CamTwist. So that's basically it. I have a external
camera.
Thank you. And then my wireless gaming headset, which I love this sucker. It's the best ever because it has like a very narrow profile. It's not huge like most gaming.
Right.
Love it.
What are they? Because everyone always asks me to go back and ask teachers what they have. I can't see them.
I'm not sure. Oh, Corsair.
Oh, those are the ones that Amanda Panda has and loves.
Yeah.
I have to link those again. People always ask me.
I love them. I love them because they're wireless, but they're not Bluetooth. So you don't have some of those, because there's classroom sound issues with Bluetooth. So it has a little USB adapter. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. I almost got those the other day. I was looking at them, but
they're amazing.
I have a wireless headset, but I don't use it. Where is it? How does your public school teaching background form your online classroom? Does that make sense? Let's just change.
Inform?
Maybe.
You
probably wrote it right, and I just talked into this thing. And
I think.
How does it help you having your background help your online classroom?
I think having a classroom of 24 kids who all learn differently teaches you how to adapt and adjust and differentiate on the fly. And I think that really applies to online class, especially when you get a new kid that you don't know anything about. Being able to switch gears quickly and hit the things they really need to do, they need to know is the way I think it's helped me. That adaptability is huge.
Yeah, I agree. Do you use tech? Well, we know you use technology in your classroom now. You've talked about that quite a bit. Yeah. And how's your thumb?
It's good. So
I'll leave it to you if you want to tell that story.
Yeah, about a year ago, I was in class, and all of a sudden, like this whole side, I can't even remember which arm it was. I think it was this one. This whole side of my arm was just killing me, and it felt like tendonitis. I'd had tendonitis before. I was like, oh my gosh, what is it? It hurts so bad. So I went to urgent care like immediately because it was so painful.
Wow.
I gave myself tendonitis from thumbs upping too much. The doctor asked, she was like, is there a repeated motion that you do a lot using? And I went, I do this every day. She goes, that's it.
That is so crazy.
So to then she called the nurse in. She was like, she hurt herself by doing this. So I was in a wrist brace for 3 to 4 weeks.
Because you're such a positive person.
Because I was thumbs upping too hard. So now I'm like don't overextend it. Now we do a lot of high fives. We do some knuckle bumps. Ollie and I always knuckle and then let it explode.
La 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 la.
Yeah. Injured myself with thumbs upping.
Wow.
Too enthusiastically.
That's so funny. I mean, it's not, but it is, you know. I typed in cake in the App Store. Is it Cake Learn English?
It should just be Cake like web browser. I can look in the App Store real quick and see what it's. Here, I'll show you the symbol that you're looking for. It's that little pink and purple.
Oh yeah.
Like paint looking circle.
Fun.
It looks like a cake.
Yeah. Beth, do you think do you teach for OutSchool, or do you think you will teach for OutSchool?
That's a tough question because I like the idea of it. I like the idea of working during the day. But I really like the VIPKid gives me the curriculum.
That's
and
why
I can make
to OutSchool for a while, but Beth, you and I have everything we need to teach on OutSchool by being teachers.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And I actually got about halfway through creating an 8-week phonics course. And then I was just like, why am I adding one more thing? Why? And because I found a schedule that works for me.
Oh yeah.
With sleeping 2 hours at night, teaching, sleeping 5 hours during the day.
Yeah.
So adding daytime hours might be good, but I'd have to cut my VIPKid hours. And I really like teaching for VIPKid. I really like it.
I still don't have a schedule down yet.
I don't think you ever do with this job because it's always trying new things, always adjusting.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the benefits of it. It's the flexibility for me.
Oh, Mindy said she has those headphones too. They're about $80. Yeah, I'll have to link that one. I've linked them before with Amanda Panda because everyone always asks us about those.
I love them because they're not super heavy. I have a giant head. I have a very big head. So lots of headphones. I can't tell you how many I bought, tried on, returned. On, returned. So I love it.
It's funny. I'm different. I probably look like I have a big head, but nothing fits me here. Glasses. I have to buy glasses in the kids section.
Oh
no. Or smaller glasses for me.
No, my husband and I went
just a little too, probably.
My husband and I went ziplining on our vacation, like at the beginning of the month. We were trying to do social distance activities, and the guy went to put the helmet on me, and he was like, set it down, and then just went, oh. Put it back and cut one of them. It's like, yeah. Sorry.
Teacher Kim was laughing. I think that's the thumbs up thing.
Yeah.
Teacher Kim's birthday is tomorrow.
Yay!
Right? No, Saturday. It's the 22nd. Saturday, I think it is. So, yay, happy birthday coming up. She just taught her first OutSchool class today.
That's exciting.
Yes, and teacher Mindy said, oh, the cake has a funny symbol. Okay, well, I have kept you here forever. I think I could talk to you forever. Let's do the final 3 questions, and then if anyone has anything that comes up. I think actually we're going to go with 2 because you've already told us qualities of a good teacher, unless you have something else you want to add.
No, I think flexibility, patience, and adaptability. Yeah. But also know what you expect of the kids going in as far as what your classroom is going to be, you know, and don't, if you don't want disrespectful kids, don't let it happen. Just know who you are going in and know that you have to adapt, you have to change, but also be yourself. And for me, I'm a kindergarten teacher at heart, so I'm going to be fun and goofy, but
But there's a line, yeah.
But I have a line. I have that line.
People. Because everyone thinks I'm funny and goofy, like with the kids and stuff, but I'm not all the time. It's, you know.
Like, you,
Kim said, it's Saturday, and her class was about idioms today.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? I'm a goal setter kind of person.
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
asking.
Well, in all honesty, I hope that in 5 years I'm not still doing this, because our ultimate goal is to adopt and then let me be a mama.
No.
So that's what we're on our path to, is being able to get to that point so that I can so in 5 years, I hope I'm not doing this. If I am, awesome. This is a great job, and I wouldn't want to do any other job. So teaching is my passion. It's just changed a little bit from when I first started. But I hope in 5 years, I've got a couple Bambinos running around here.
Oh, little bats. Cute. So what are some great teaching resources that you have come across?
I think fellow teachers, like, just talk to people you know. Anything you need can be found in one of us, you know?
Yeah.
So I think every strategy out there has been tried. Every tool out there has been used by someone. It's just finding those people that can help show you how to use it and show you how to implement that in your physical classroom, in your online classroom. I think find your group of people who you can rely on and trust, and that's your number one best resource. Not Teachers Pay Teachers, not Etsy, not Pinterest. It's the people around you.
Yeah.
So try to find even in this crazy online world, my people live all over the country, but they're still around me. They're my people. So I don't know. Is that a cheesy or unhelpful answer?
No, it's true. I mean, they say teachers are the best thieves when I got started teaching, however many years ago. And it's true. I mean, you borrow ideas from everybody. You talk to one another. That's part of group lesson planning and stuff. You get to have all these ideas from teachers that teach differently than you, but you all teach the same. You have the same subject, but you all teach it different type of thing. So yeah, I think it's great. Let's see, Beth, thank you for encouraging me to learn to make Google Slides 2 years ago. You inspire me.
Thank you.
You said she's made some rewards. I have to look. I haven't seen them in there. This is Teacher Kim. So
usually it's done by your name in Google. So if you type in Kim, it will probably pull up all the different Kims that we have. But you can search in SlideKick by creator name in the rewards section.
Kim was also one of those ones in the first groups too when I met Morgan. So I've been friends with her since I started at VIPKid. So
that's awesome.
Since they adopted me around Christmas time. All right. Well, Beth, that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm a rambler. If I don't have a script, I just kind of go off.
And, I try to give you questions, but I don't follow them.
It's okay. We're just hanging out.
Yes. I think that's why people come to these chats, though, because we can chat and talk amongst in the chat and stuff. So somebody asked me what my niche was, and I'm like, is talking a niche?
Just chatting.
Just talking. All right. Well, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming. Still 13 people. Loved having you here, and we'll see you.